Recap Tales of Herding Gods, Chapter 571. Chapter Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Within the lair of the true dragon, where ancient chi coiled like mist and echoes of primordial roars lingered through the void, Qin Mu at last attained his desire. He comprehended every strand of dragon language inscribed within the nest, each character like a living dragon, twisting and resonating within his mind. Elder Qing Huang was a divine dragon, a being whose understanding of dragon tongue was boundless. His cultivation was immeasurably profound, so deep that Qin Mu could not even glimpse the limits of his realm. Yet, to stand as the master of the Green Dragon Palace, one of the four great celestial palaces of the founding emperor's celestial heavens, his strength must have surpassed even that of Saint Woodcutter or King Yama. When the stars gathered, they formed the celestial heavens. When divided, they became the five great palaces. The Green Dragon Celestial Palace governed the 60 stars of the eastern heavens. The White Tiger Celestial Palace ruled the 27 stars of the western heavens. The Vermilion Bird Celestial Palace presided over the 39 stars of the southern heavens. And the Black Tortoise Celestial Palace commanded the northern heavens. At the very heart lay the Heavenly Emperor Celestial Palace, sovereign over the Heavenly Emperor's stars. Yet even among them, the Green Dragon Celestial Palace stood foremost among the four. From this alone, one could fathom the terrifying might of Elder Qing Huang. Unlike Little Dragon Zhang Miao, who painstakingly deciphered each word of the true Dragon Lord's technique, Elder Qing Huang transformed the entire corpus of dragon script into flowing martial truth. He transmitted it directly into their minds, from the most rudimentary principles to the most profound mysteries. The core technique bore the name Ancestral Dragon Supreme Mystery Technique. It invoked all dragon language to reverberate within the corporeal body and primordial spirit, echoing with the thunder of dragon roars. Hidden within those ancient inscriptions lay the methods of circulating vital chi, executing divine arts, and tempering the flesh. For any cultivator, this technique elevated every aspect of existence. The vigor of vital chi, the subtlety of divine arts, the strength of the corporeal vessel, all were refined to their utmost limits. It stood among the pinnacle techniques, brushing against the threshold of the Tao realm. Should Qin Mu fully comprehend it, stepping onto the path of technique would no longer be a distant dream. This was the first time Qin Mu had witnessed a technique of such a level, and one that was complete. The 14 writings of the Tao sword were incomplete, for the stars that composed them were illusions. No matter how one sought to grasp the 14th writing, it remained forever elusive. Thus, the final sword could never step into the realm of the Tao. The Rulai Mahayana Sutra of the Great Thunderclap Monastery could elevate one's state of mind to the Tao realm, yet its cultivation only reached the 20th heaven. Beyond the Brahma realm, there was nothing more. Little Jade Capital's method could carry one to the realm of gods. But beyond that, it fractured and ended. The Heavenly Saint cult's great educational Heavenly Devil scriptures possessed astonishing attainments in divine arts, yet after godhood, they too offered no further path. Due to the broken inheritance of the Eternal Peace Empire, all sacred grounds bore inherent flaws. Every technique lacked completeness. Though Supreme Emperor Heaven possessed intact inheritance and countless gods and devil gods, Qin Mu had never encountered a technique that could directly guide one into the Tao realm. He had not even heard of such a thing. Even true gods of Supreme Emperor Heaven could only cultivate a single aspect to the Tao realm. To refine all aspects to that level required individual enlightenment and arduous training. Their techniques simply did not lead one directly into the Tao realm. Only one technique could achieve that. Ancestral Dragon Supreme Mystery Technique. By cultivating it, one could form the ancestral dragon primordial spirit and elevate comprehension of dragon divine arts, corporeal body, and essence to the Tao realm. It was a heaven-defying art. It even surpasses my Overlord Body 3 elixir technique. Qin Mu sighed inwardly, a trace of rueful admiration in his heart. Back in Supreme Emperor Heaven, when he parted from Zhehuali, he had entered the wondrous state of technique entering the Tao. There, he refined every divine art of the Overlord Body 3 elixir technique to its utmost perfection. Yet fate had intervened. Devil experts disrupted him as he attempted to fuse the divine eyes. Even so, he had taken that first step. But that was not the same as a Path Realm technique. Technique entering the Tao merely elevated his corporeal body, primordial spirit, and divine arts to the level of a young true god. A Path Realm technique stood higher. It brought all aspects into alignment with the Tao itself. Moreover, it extended beyond the god realm, offering further cultivation. Though this technique is unparalleled, it suits dragons best. If I cultivate it, my achievements will surely fall short of Jiang Miao's. For me, only the technique most suited to me is the best. Qin Mu cast aside his burden. Though Ancestral Dragon Supreme Mystery Technique was peerless, he still chose his Overlord Body 3 Elixir technique. Yet its value to him remained immense. He could borrow its principles of refinement to perfect his own path. This refinement method was known as the 8 Voices of the Ancestral Dragon, an overbearing and tyrannical art. It consisted of sticking voice, killing voice, seizing voice, absorbing voice, guiding voice, spinning voice, hammering voice, and refining voice. Without hesitation, Qin Mu began to practice. As his vital qi circulated, it resonated with a strange rhythm. Sticking voice erupted, causing his qi to become thick and sluggish while vibrating at an astonishing frequency. Instantly, his corporeal body underwent a wondrous transformation. His blood thickened, and as it surged, thunderous booms echoed within him. His qi and blood became vast like an avalanche cascading down snow mountains. When it reached his palm, it expanded to the size of a palm leaf fan. Each movement of vital qi unleashed thunderous detonations. He used sticking voice to refine his blood vessels. After a full cycle, he dispersed it, feeling invigorated. Next came killing voice. It shook his consciousness, tempering it into incomparable purity. Then seizing voice, his 3 souls nearly scattered under its force. Seizing voice refined the 3 souls. Absorbing voice refined the 7 spirits. Guiding voice tempered the heart. Spinning voice refined the spirit embryo. Refining voice honed the Tao heart. Qin Mu refined each in turn, gradually grasping the mysteries of the 8 voices. With renewed vigor, he dispersed his vital qi and began reconstructing the circulation pathways of the Overlord Body 3 Elixir technique. His next step, fusing what he had learned into his own cultivation method. Before him, vital qi formed intricate pathways, shaping into something vaguely human. Yet upon closer inspection, its structure was profoundly complex. It involved his spirit embryo, the 5 elements, and the 6 directions divine treasure. Within these treasures, his vital qi flowed in an intricate system, each pathway unique. Even within his body, every organ possessed a distinct circulation path. The heart differed from the kidneys, the legs from the viscera. It was a masterpiece of exquisite design. He attempted to integrate the 8 voices into these pathways. To his surprise, only minor adjustments were needed. Guiding voice activated at the heart, sticking voice within the blood vessels, and spinning voice at the spirit embryo. It was astonishingly seamless. Thus, within the true dragon's nest, he altered his technique, ignoring all else. Elder Qing Huang and Zhang Miao were drawn by the movement. Their gazes fell upon the circulation diagram before him. "Do not look," Elder Qing Huang said, shaking his head toward Zhang Miao. "You cannot learn it. This youth is vast, like a monster. His foundation and wisdom lie beyond your reach. Come, I will explain the mysteries of the Ancestral Dragon Supreme Mystery Technique to resolve your doubts." "Maha," Zhang Miao replied softly. Elder Qing Huang smiled gently. "There is no need to fear me." Zhang Miao gathered his courage, transforming into human form and standing obediently at the side. For 4 to 5 days, Elder Qing Huang instructed him, simplifying the profound truths for easier understanding. Meanwhile, Qin Mu completed the integration of the 8 voices into his technique. As his vital qi flowed, the 8 voices naturally manifested, refining his body, spirit, qi, and Tao heart, even enhancing his divine arts during execution. Within the nest, Qin Mu moved like a serpent, unleashing divine arts one after another. Dragon roars echoed endlessly as their power surged ever higher. Joy filled his heart. Zeng! He drew out the pig-slaughtering knives and unleashed midnight battles across the stormy cities. Yet in that instant, the blades shattered from the overwhelming vibration. Qin Mu froze. He drew a bamboo cane and thrust forward. It disintegrated into powder. The 8 voices are too powerful. Ordinary spirit weapons cannot withstand them. He drew out a sword pellet. Countless flying swords flowed forth, forming a long blade. With a pull, it split into two. He executed. Every cloud has a silver lining. Blade lights crossed, their power surging beyond before. The attack nearly severed the pillars of the dragon's nest. Chinmu hastily withdrew, fearing destruction. Examining the blades, he sent them skyward. They dissolved into flying swords, circling him. After careful inspection, he exhaled in relief. Fortunately, my flying swords were refined well. Otherwise, I would have no weapon to use. He sank into contemplation once more. Beyond the 8 voices, the technique held countless divine arts, each with unpredictable transformations. They could become Buddhist arts, Taoist arts, or even devil path arts. They could also be shaped into sword techniques or blade techniques, each wielding immense power. Its movement techniques were extraordinary. Its pupil techniques, astonishing. The deeper he studied, the more he realized its brilliance. He lamented not being a dragon, unable to unleash its full potential. When he finally awoke, Elder Qinghuang and Zhang Miao were gone. He flew out and saw Zhang Miao cultivating. The youth had become a sapphire dragon, coiling and weaving as he practiced. In mere days, his strength had soared dramatically. Chinmu sighed. Around him, young men and women watched with admiration and cheers. He approached a girl of similar age. "How should I address this little sister?" Her face reddened. "My name is Qingya. Do not call me little sister. I am already 300 years old. How old are you?" Qinmu flushed, then turned to another youth. "This brother?" "I am 637, the youth replied. Qinmu fell silent. The villagers' ages were terrifying. A middle-aged man smiled. "I am 20,800. Qinmu ceased asking, yet his spirit rose. "Have you all visited Eternal Peace? I am the cult master of the Heavenly Saint cult. We are currently in need of people." Elder Qinghuang approached, face dark. "Do not even think of my village. I have already imparted the technique. You should leave." "Senior, Supreme Emperor Heaven is at war. Even my master has gone." Qinmu hurriedly said. "Qingya, see the guests off." Qingya's vital qi erupted with terrifying force. In an instant, Qinmu was immobilized. She grabbed Zhang Miao. "Do not move, I will send you 1,000 miles away." With a breath, clouds filled the sky, carrying them far into the distance. "Such power?" Qinmu cried out. "Senior, I still have things." The clouds dispersed. They stood upon a distant mountain. The village was nowhere to be seen. Before finishing his sentence, he had been sent 1,000 miles away. "Maha!" Zhang Miao said enviously. "You will reach such power too." Qinmu sighed. Suddenly, the true dragon's nest flew toward them. Qinmu's face changed. It descended, heavy beyond measure, yet paused and landed gently upon the peak. Relief and astonishment filled him. Was this also Qingya's doing? Such terrifying magic. I can only control a few 100 pounds for 200 miles, yet she moved the entire nest across 1,000 miles. "Maha!" Zhang Miao exclaimed in envy. Qinmu turned to him helplessly. "Dao friend Zhang, you can speak human language now." "Strange. I am not an ill-starred omen. Why was Elder Qinghuang unwilling to let me remain?" Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Qingya had already sent Qinmu away from the secluded dragon village. With a surge of her vital qi, she wrapped the true dragon's nest within a cocoon of power and propelled it across 1,000 miles, sending it to the youth's side like a streak of green lightning. As her qi faded, she turned toward Elder Qinghuang and asked, "Old ancestor, why did you send Brother Qin away so hastily? Is he not a descendant of founding emperor?" The other villagers were also filled with curiosity, gathering close, like a cluster of spirits, to hear the answer. "Old ancestor has said before that you and founding emperor once swore to live and die together. To drive Brother Qin away like this, it truly seems unreasonable." Elder Qinghuang cast them a sharp glance, his dragon aura stirring faintly. "Unreasonable? How am I being unreasonable? Back then, founding emperor and I indeed swore to share life and death. But in truth, it was always me who suffered while he reaped all the benefits. That fellow dragged his entire family to Carefree Village to enjoy a carefree life, then tossed all his troublesome mess onto us, while he himself lived without a single worry. He wants me to clean up his shit in his dreams." Qingya and the others exchanged glances, their expressions filled with helpless dismay. Elder Qinghuang's temper rose like a raging tide with every word. "Never heard me speak vulgarities before? Then tell me, Back in founding Emperor Celestial Heavens, I was the most renowned master of foul language. I once scolded a bull god until he died on the spot. Founding Emperor left behind a mountain of chaos, and so many Dao friends still wait for his return. But what now? He turned away from the fishing net, his robes fluttering as he strode out of the village, a trace of anger woven into his voice. Even now, he has yet to show his face. How many of our brothers have grown cold-hearted because of this? This Chinmu may be his 107th descendant, but a fallen phoenix feather is inferior even to a hen dragon. The title of 107th descendant is nothing but empty words. Which distant descendant of an emperor still holds the dignity of a prince? A far-off descendant of a true dragon is even worse than a crawling worm. If founding emperor wishes to summon me from the mountain, he must personally step out of Carefree Village. Otherwise, even if the crown prince himself comes, I will not spare him a glance. The villagers followed him until they arrived at a cold, mist-shrouded pond. Elder Qing Huang cast the net into the water, yet he made no move to retrieve it even after a long while. Time drifted by like still water before he finally spoke, his voice low. This Chinmu has some ability, but it is far from sufficient, far from enough. His purpose in coming here was to reclaim the commander's seal and learn the ancestral Dragon Supreme Mystery technique, and I have given him both. The bloodline of our green dragons no longer owes him anything. We owe the Qin family nothing more. Qingya and the others remained silent, but a middle-aged man coughed softly. Old ancestor, if you do not pull in the net, all the fish will escape. Elder Qinghuang continued to mutter, as if lost in the depths of his own thoughts. This Chinmu is a troublesome youth, always stirring chaos wherever he goes. My judgment of people has never been wrong. His temperament mirrors that of founding emperor, restless, meddlesome, always tinkering and causing trouble. I fear that if you follow him, you will only invite danger. We have lived in this village for 20,000 years. Though life is plain, it is peaceful. Old ancestor, the fish have truly escaped, Qingya said anxiously. Though that founding emperor is detestable, and I always had to guard my life when I was around him, I still miss those days. When I think back on them, my heart grows warm. Even my eyes grow moist. With a splash, Qingya leapt into the cold pond and, after a moment, emerged holding a massive scarlet fish. Elder Qinghuang still muttered without pause. Why do I miss that time? Could it be that I have grown old? No, I cannot let you leave the village. This Chinmu looks crafty, and at a glance I could tell he is full of mischievous schemes. The villagers left him by the pond and gathered elsewhere, breathing dragon fire to roast the fish. From a distance, Qingya said softly, I think Brother Qin has delicate features and looks quite handsome. His eyes are bright and clear. He does not seem like a bad person. Speak less. Old ancestor is waging a battle between man and heaven. Moreover, he has always been vulgar by nature. How could he say anything pleasant? The middle-aged man said in a low voice. Uncle Yan, did old ancestor truly scold a bull god to death before? The young ones asked with curiosity. The middle-aged man, Qing Yan, hesitated briefly before nodding. He lowered his voice. That was a true god. Old ancestor scolded him for 3 days and 2 nights without repeating a single vulgar word. The bull god could neither retaliate with words nor strength, and in the end, he was angered to death. It is said that the blood he spat formed a river, and he cried for 3 days before drawing his final breath. Everyone was stunned, turning back to look at Elder Qing Huang, who still stood beside the pond, muttering in a daze. There is devil nature within that mischievous brat, so deep that even Earth Count had to suppress him. Earth Count only suppresses great evils, so he is certainly not a good person. However, this brat learns quickly and has his own thoughts, making him a talent. But with such a love for trouble, it is easy for him to dance into death's embrace. As the youths of the dragon village ate the roasted fish, Qingya asked in confusion, Is old ancestor praising Brother Qin or scolding him? Elder Qing Huang continued his internal battle. I cannot let the younger generation waste their lives away here with me. Perhaps letting them leave the village would not be a bad thing. When the villagers finished eating, only fish bones remained scattered across the ground. At last, Elder Qing Huang seemed to conclude his inner war. He shook the water from the net and prepared to retrieve it. a faint smile appearing on his face. Qingyan, tonight we shall eat roasted fish. Afterward, I permit you all to wander the great ruins. Qingya and the others cheered. Scattering in excitement, Elder Qing Huang stood stunned for a moment before simply shaking his head. Jiang Miao transformed into a youth whose appearance bore some resemblance to Qin Yu. As he followed Qin Mu, he cultivated the ancestral Dragon Supreme Mystery technique with diligence. His movements shifted through countless forms and divine arts, tempering his body without pause. His effort was unwavering. Qin Mu circulated his Overlord Body 3 elixir technique. With each cycle, the 8 voices of the ancestral dragon resounded once. Amid endless dragon roars, his body was continuously refined, each breath forging him anew. The two advanced towards Spirit Energy Mutual Shift Bridge, their pace steady and unhurried. Qin Mu refined several water element divine vitality pills for Jiang Miao, allowing him to replenish his energy whenever exhaustion crept in. Though Jiang Miao was not picky, the pills tasted unpleasant. Even so, their compatibility with his vital qi made them invaluable, and he consumed them while praising Qin Mu's craftsmanship. Qin Mu thought of the dragon Qilin and let out a quiet sigh. Suddenly, he halted, his gaze sweeping the surroundings. Jiang Miao immediately followed suit, asking curiously, "Cult Master, what is wrong?" Qin Mu pondered for a moment. "I sense something approaching rapidly, yet when I focus on it, I see nothing. Strange. Perhaps I am mistaken." He continued onward. After they had gone some distance, a medicinal peony flower drifted through the air like mist, transforming into Pangong So. His appearance was unchanged except for a deer leg. That brat could actually detect me. My cultivation has risen greatly, yet he still noticed me. His progress is not slow either. He even has a small brat resembling a dragon beside him. Truly a lucky bastard to gain the assistance of a true dragon. Perhaps he even kidnaps and sells them. Someone is coming. As Pangong So pondered, his ears twitched. His body shifted, transforming into a towering tree. 2 eyes opened upon its branches. Whoosh! A group of green dragons surged past, riding upon a violent gale. The sight left him stunned. The smallest among them stretched over 150 yards in length. They were clearly pursuing Qin Mu. Whoosh! The gale swept over, and the dragons halted near Pangong So. The smallest dragon twisted her body, transforming into a young girl clad in green. She surveyed the area. "He has just left. He cannot have gone far. We will catch up to him soon." Suddenly, the largest green dragon coiled around the tree that was Pangong So, her gaze sharp. There is something strange about this tree. Pangong So dared not act rashly. He quickly revealed his true form, smiling apologetically. "Senior dragons, are you pursuing a youth named Qin Mu?" This junior saw a fierce-looking man fleeing in that direction. He even had a kidnapped dragon youth with him. "You saw him?" Qingya's eyes lit up with joy. She hurriedly asked, "Where did he go?" "This junior can lead the way. That fellow will have no means of escape," Pangong So declared righteously. The group was overjoyed, smiling at him. "If you can guide us, it will save us the trouble of tracking him." Pangong So bowed politely and hurried ahead, leading the way. "That brat is slippery and swift, but he cannot escape me. Everyone, please follow." Numerous green dragons transformed into men and women, along with Qingyan, and followed Pangong So as he tracked Qin Mu. Qin Mu and Jiang Miao moved swiftly, and before long, the radiant glow of Spirit Energy Mutual Shift Bridge appeared ahead. They quickened their pace and arrived at a city. Qin Mu gathered medicinal herbs and said, "When we return to Supreme Emperor Heaven, you must follow Qin Yu. I promised him I would only borrow you for a few days." Jiang Miao looked troubled. "In the past, my intelligence had not awakened, so I followed him. But now, how can I coil around him as before? Cult Master, could you speak to him on my behalf? I still owe him gratitude, so it is difficult for me to say it myself." Qin Mu pondered before smiling. "I borrowed a young dragon and return him a man. Even I find it difficult to speak of such matters. Tell him yourself." Jiang Miao frowned. They arrived at Spirit Energy Mutual Shift Bridge, but Jiang Miao hesitated, reluctant to enter. Qin Mu smiled. "Once we return to Supreme Emperor Heaven, I will arrange for the two of you to become sworn brothers. How about that?" Relief spread across Jiang Miao's face. He smiled. "Then I thank you, Cult Master." Just as they were about to step onto the bridge, Pangong So suddenly appeared, hobbling forward with a swagger. He laughed loudly. Cult Master, what a coincidence. I trust you have been well? Chinmu's eyes gleamed. He smiled faintly. So it is, Grandmaster. Do you remember when you stood behind me and attempted to harm me? What did I say then? The next time we meet, I will take your head. How do you wish to die? You are doomed, yet you still speak of taking my head? Pan Gongso sneered. Look behind me. Qingyan, Qingya, and the other Dragon Village experts stepped forward. Qingya waved excitedly at Chinmu. Brother Qin, old ancestor has allowed us to leave the village. Chinmu was both surprised and delighted. Elder Qinghuang permitted you to gain experience outside? As it happens, my heavenly saint cult is in need of people. Pan Gongso was stunned. His expression shifted to terror. This man did not just kidnap one dragon youth, but an entire group. This is bad, very bad. I must flee. Just as he prepared to escape, a middle-aged man appeared behind him. Qingyan's massive hand pressed onto his shoulder, his smile calm yet imposing. Brother Qin, this little Dao friend must be your acquaintance, yes? Thanks to him we found you so quickly. Qinmu looked at them with a smile that did not reach his eyes. Indeed, I must thank Grandmaster, Brother Yan, seize him. This fellow excels at escaping.